Hi everyone, happy Monday. I am Violet Ayala. I'm the founder of FEMCITY, and you're joining me today for Facebook, our FEMCITY Live series. And you'll see my dog in the background. He might move around and maybe require attention. So anyway, today's topic is a great topic. It was brought to me by Michelle in Sarasota. I don't know if she wants me to use her last name, so I'm just going to kind of keep it as Michelle. And her topic or her ask to me was how to live more like a minimalist. And the reason why she brought this up is because a couple weeks ago I was talking to her and I mentioned that I was going to surprise my husband with a trip to Tulum, and that I had to buy him clothes for the trip because I had wanted to pack ahead of time, and that if I had packed his clothes that he had already existing, he would have known that clothes were missing because we live very minimalistically and we have very little physical kind of items. And so I had to purchase all new clothes for him to put in the suitcase to have it ready. And it left a kind of, I guess, an inquiry in her mind as to how do I live so light with everything around me. And so I kind of wanted to share with you 3 tips that I use that kind of got me starting in this kind of minimalistic way. I wasn't always like this. We had a really big house in North Carolina. It was a big Victorian house, 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 6 fireplaces. It was crazy. We had 4 cars, the Land Rover, a Mercedes, a pickup truck, and a Saab convertible. So we have lived really large with lots of stuff. As you know, when you have a big house like that, you need to have a lot of furniture and a lot of things. And when I turned 40, things started to shift, and I just really wanted to have more of a simple life. I really wanted to have less of the physical stuff. And my value was no longer connected to the physical things that we were driving or we were living in. It was more connected into the experiences of life. And then I got into a kind of a habit of how little could I live off of? How little could I have around myself? And so that kind of started the shift. And so I'm sharing that with you because you might be looking at this and saying, there's no way I could get rid of stuff. But I got rid of stuff, and it made me find more clarity in my life and to focus on what's important. And so I'm hoping that's my intention for you today, if you're watching this and you kind of want to create a more simple life filled with joy. These are some of the things that I do to help me get there. So hey, Jamie. Hi, Suzanne. Hey, Terry. So here's the first thing. The first thing is that clutter around. Clutter could be with just your physical objects. It could be also clothes. It could be a lot of makeup that you might have. Really, the clutter around our physical space gets in the way. Sometimes it holds bad memories. Sometimes there are things that we're holding on to just in case we could never have something like that again. Sometimes it's things that no longer fit us anymore, right? They're clothes that we've had in our closet for a really long time that no longer fit us. But when we come across those items, sometimes they bring us sorrow, where we look at something and we say, wow, when I used to be a size 6 or when I used to be a size 12 or whatever it is, it might bring us a little bit of sadness. So really what I do is I kind of go through rituals 4 times a year, and I go through the house from top to bottom. We now live in a 1,400 square foot house close to the beach. Again, trying to create the life that I want, what really is important. The beach was really important to me in living here. So I started doing this. So what I do is I kind of go through the house and my office, and everything that's around me, I kind of ask myself this question: do I need this? Does it bring me joy? Does it elevate my spirit? And sometimes when we've spent a lot of money on things, because this is the biggest excuse that I hear from some of my friends, is that they say, well, I can't get rid of it because I spent so much money on it. And the reality is that you can ask yourself, would it bring someone else joy? Would it lift up somebody else? And if that's the case, then sometimes we release that. A much easier kind of way to just kind of get rid of stuff is to share it with other people that could really benefit from it. So as an example is, for the last couple of years, I've been traveling a lot to Europe, and I've purchased clothes for the girls. And I've spent, some money on these cute little European clothes. And so I didn't want to just give them away because they were really beautiful, but they no longer served a purpose, right? They outgrew them. And so what I did is I found another friend who values little European girl clothes, and I gave her those clothes. And so it released it from me. I no longer needed it in my life, but I gave it to somebody else who made them smile and made her little girl smile. So sometimes when we find things like that in our house, we don't want to get rid of them because of those situations. But when we review it and say, who could I give this to that would bring joy? Then we release it. My daughter just gave her American Girl doll away, something that she treasured forever, but she no longer needed it anymore. So she gave it to our neighbor this past weekend. So just as an example. The second thing is that food-wise, so I I try to practice being a vegan. I think it was like 90% of the time. I'm really good at that. Every once in a while I'll have like dairy or an egg. And but food's another way that we can go ahead and become more minimalistic in philosophy, is that everything that we eat, everything that's around us, will it nurture our body? Will it bring us strength? Will it heal us? Will it lift us up? Will it help us find more clarity? So even with the food that we're eating, we can be minimalistic. Just have the things that we really, really need, and you'll find love and joy within that. You might think like, oh, you know, a salad of tofu does not lighten me up. But if it's nourishing your body, if it's giving you the things that you need, you know, removing all the processed stuff, removing all the things that don't do your best, don't give you the best, release those as well. That's another step that I did. And the third thing is noise. So I really try, I read this book, I can't remember, I'm such a bad, I have a bad memory with book titles, but it was a book about the noise and the zen around us. And just the basic, like throwing the dishes in the dishwasher or stomping our feet. The basic noise that we hear sometimes kind of disturbs our serenity within our minds. And I really try to incorporate a lot of peaceful time within my day. And again, that's a very minimalistic kind of philosophy approach, is that how do I live without making as much noise? How could I go ahead and spend most of my time with peace around me, the people that I hang out with, the things that I like to do on the weekends, spending time in nature? How do you remove the unnecessary noise around us? So those are my 3 tips. I hope that that helps. I know Suzanne just said that she recently did this and it's liberating. Our house is half the size and I feel like I'm living in a vacation home. That's exactly how I feel as well. So I hope that that helps. I hope this connection's good. It seems a little fragmented, so I hope it helps you guys. Let me know if you need any other topics, or if you needed to have any questions on this. I created a video with something similar to this theme, so you can find it in our FEMCITY.com library or school. It's absolutely free. You can also find it on our YouTube channel. But I actually went through and I created a worksheet on this topic as well. So I hope that helps, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.